Hi everyone, I'm Nicole Kearney, the manager of BHL Australia. In this video, I'm going to explain how to upload article data into BHL via the BHL admin dashboard. I'm also going to run you through all the wonderful things that happen when you add article data to BHL. This is one of a series of videos explaining the key steps involved in making the articles on BHL discoverable. I encourage you to watch the other videos in this series. So here is some article data I prepared earlier. It's for the occasional papers of the Bernice P. Bishop Museum in Hawaii. I've carefully checked the accuracy of the data. I've matched the authors to existing BHL author IDs, and I've made sure to include the segment IDs for any articles that already exist on BHL. I've also made sure that all the articles are in order so that they upload in order into BHL. For detailed instructions on how to prepare article data for upload into BHL, I strongly recommend that you read BHL's segment documentation written by Susan Lynch, Diana Duncan, and Joel Richard. You can find it using the document link on this slide. Please also watch the How to Download Existing Article Data from BHL video and the How to Prepare Article Data for Upload to BHL video, which are part of this Making BHL Articles Discoverable series. Once you're ready to upload your article data into BHL, you need to save it as an Excel file or a TSV file. If you're using Google Sheets, click File and then Download and then select TSV. You then need to go to the BHL dashboard and click on Import Segments in the Data Import box. This page allows you to download BHL's segment data templates, which are explained in detail in the segments documentation. When you're preparing article data, you should either start with a spreadsheet of existing article data downloaded from BHL or with one of these templates. Once you're ready to upload your completed article data, as I am now, click Next. Now select your file by clicking Choose File and then click Next. You then need to map your column headings to the BHL fields. Now, because I use the BHL segments template, my columns have mapped almost exactly to the expected fields. I just have to tell BHL which of my author columns to match to the author names field. Now, I did quite a bit of work adding the BHL author IDs, so I want BHL to use my author IDs column, not my author names column, for author names. I simply click in the box next to the author IDs, select author names in the drop-down menu, and then BHL will use my values in my author's ID column for the author names. And I then click Next. I now get a preview of the data I'm about to upload. As everything looks okay, I'm going to click Next again. This takes me to the Import Segments Review page. There are some important things to check on this page, which are detailed in the helpful How to Use This Page document, which you can see in the upper right there. You can access that by clicking on that link, and that page will tell you all the different statuses and what they all mean, how to interpret them, and how to change them. It's a good idea to read this information the first couple of times you import data into BHL. The most important step is always to check the status of every entry before clicking Import Records. There are only 2 pages of entries in my example here, so I could just scroll through them. But if you're uploading a bigger data set, you can click on the word status to sort the status types in order, and then click on it again to sort in reverse order. And this will quickly reveal if there are any statuses other than OK. In this data set, the status is OK for every line of data, but that's not always the case. Here's an example from a different journal where a row is marked as invalid. You can investigate what the issue is by clicking on the plus symbol on the far left hand of the row. This reveals that the item ID and my start and end pages are mismatched for this article. I've made a mistake. Either the end page appears earlier in the volume than the start page, or either or both of the pages don't exist in that volume. I need to fix the data for that article before I can upload it into BHL. Now, I prefer to just reject the records at this point, fix the errors in the spreadsheet, and re-upload the entire spreadsheet. We would also recommend doing a spot check. Spot check the segments with the status OK, as it's it's possible that they may still contain some warnings that may need addressing. So just click on a plus here and there just to check that before you click Import Records up on the right-hand side. Once you've reviewed all the data and dealt with any warning or errors, it's okay to proceed and import records. You'll then be taken to the segment's import history page, which in this case tells me that all 93 of my articles imported successfully. So what does this mean for the BHL front end? A lot. Now, when I go to the front title landing page for this journal, there's a View Parts option for each volume. If I click on View Parts, I'm taken to a list of the articles in that volume. Clicking on the titles of those articles will take me directly to the start page of each article in the volume. But if I click on View Metadata, I'm taken to the article's shiny new article landing page. Now, these are created instantly when you upload article data into BHL. It's a good idea to check a few of your article landing pages after you've uploaded the article data to ensure that everything looks good. From an article's landing page, I can click on View Article, which takes me to the article's start page. And now that I'm in the item, I can view all the other articles in that volume by clicking on the newly created Table of Contents tab. There they are, and I can click on each of those titles to navigate between the articles. The article's title also now appears as a subheading under the journal name in the top left. And if I click on that, I'm taken back to the article's landing page. And from there, I can download a PDF of the article. Every article defined on BHL now comes with a pre-generated downloadable PDF. Although please note these may take a couple of days to generate after you upload article data. When you scroll to the end of these PDFs, you'll see that there's a full bibliographic citation, which includes the BHL URL for both the volume and the article. And if a DOI exists, it will also appear in this last page. And that's just the awesome stuff that happens within BHL when you add article data. Once a BHL article exists in the BHL catalogue, it's discoverable outside of BHL. You can search for full titles or just a few keywords. You might, for example, want to know what species Alfred Russel Wallace sent to the British Museum from the Aru Islands. And the first search result returned for those keywords is an article in BHL. Clicking on that link takes you directly to the article's landing page, to the first published description, in this case, of my favourite marsupial, the striped possum. So adding article data to BHL vastly increases the functionality, usability, and discoverability of our biodiversity knowledge. I hope I've inspired you to get involved in this work. Thank you again for listening and for your future efforts making the articles on BHL discoverable. I encourage you to watch the other videos in this series, particularly the introduction, which explains again why article data is so important for BHL. And if you have any questions, please submit a Gemini ticket to BHL's Persistent Identifier Working Group, the PIWG, or contact us via the BHL staff listserv. Thank you again for listening.